Okay, hey guys, we are going to get you just going on basic stable diffusion. So stable diffusion is an image generator that we can use in our Python code pop, 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 to quickly generate images, right? I guess it's an image generator. So this is an older version. I'm going to show you just some basic. We want to, it's just a step at a time, right? It's like in that movie, What About Bob? Like it's like a baby steps, right? So I want to start you off with just the Stable Diffusion 1, and then I'm going to do another video in a bit, and I'm going to show you Stable Diffusion 3. A lot of this stuff is you just really need to get seeing how she works, okay? So what we're going to do with this one is just get some real basic code for you going here so that you can start to play with it. And like I said, next video I'm going to show you how to use the newer Stable Diffusion models, but let's get going right now with a real quick rundown on how to just do basic image generation out of your Python code. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to click on over to the internet. Okay, so again, we're going to be using an older thing here, but let's do this. We're going to type Stable Diffusion. Okay, and then I'm going to type the words Hugging Face. If you remember, Hugging Face is a repository for models, where you can go get all sorts of your image models, you can get your chat models, you can get data sets to train stuff with. So you need to be familiar with Hugging Face. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to get this is an old version, okay? So we're going to click on this, but it's going to get you going. It's very simple, okay? We're going to go over here to this one that says Comp Viz. That's the one we want to grab. We're just going to scroll down here, okay? We can see what we need to install. We're going to have to install our PyTorch and all this kind of stuff. And then this is the code that we're going to grab. Easy peasy stuff. So let's go ahead and set this up real quick. Let's drop on over to our terminal window, okay? I'm going to hit clear screen. Now I'm in a temp folder here. Okay, so what I'm going to, that's where I like to put my stuff. You can put wherever you want. You can type mkdir and then, the name of whatever you want, and that will make that directory. Then to get into that directory, use type the command cd, as in change directory. I'm using temp, so I've already made the directory, done that. Now, what we want to do here is, I'm going to type notepad, okay? What we're going to do is open up something to put our code in, and I'm just going to type diff. Or we'll go SD, okay? And we'll give it a .py, name it whatever you want. Now, when you click this, what's going to happen is it's going to open up a notepad window. It's going to say, do you want to create a new file? Click yes. And then you're going to go over there, and here you are. It's opened up your notepad for you. So that's a real convenient way to use that. So let's click back over here to the internet, okay? And all we're going to do is we're going to copy this code, okay? Just go over here, copy, or you can click this little button here, okay? But you highlight this, press Control-C, it's going to copy it. Now we're going to go back over to our code window. We're going to press Control-V, okay? So we can save this. If you look at this, it's real simple. We're going to import our torch. We have to import a package called diffusers. We'll go through this real quick. This is the model we're going to be using. This old model. It's all good. We're going to use it on our GPU. I run NVIDIA stuff, so most of my stuff here is going to be good for y'all who've got NVIDIA. And then this pipeline, this changes a lot. So when we go from different models, they have different ways that we're connecting with these things. And so it kind of becomes incumbent upon you to go to these pages and figure out the proper way to get it going. So this one is using this format here. Other ones will just straight say pipeline, whatever. It really is important because you can't just switch these kind of things out once you go to version 2, version 3, that kind of thing. But we're going to get you going with this, okay? So don't worry about all this kind of stuff. You can go learn all that on your own. I'll tell you what, a really good thing, if you really want to know about this kind of stuff, highlight it, go Control-C, head back to your internet, okay? Go to ChatGPT and say, explain, let me make sure you can see this on your thing. Yeah, and just say, explain this code. And then paste it in there. And then GPT is going to come up and it's going to explain every part of that line. So this is a really good way for you to learn code, okay? A lot of us have some passive knowledge on it, but you don't necessarily know Python, or the great way, ChatGPT is your best friend, okay, when it comes to a lot of this stuff. So anyway, let's click on back here, Okay, and oh hell, where we're okay, here we are. So here's our code. So now remember, you got to save this thing. So press Control S, okay, and that's going to save your code. You can see down here it's going to prompt a photo of an astronaut riding a horse on Mars. You can change that whatever you want. Okay, now watch this though. We still got stuff to do. We're going to head back to here. If we try to run this thing, we'd type in Python sd.py. Now watch what's going to happen. It's going to go because we don't have our packages installed. Okay, that's going to take a second though, I guess, to figure it out. It ain't there. Okay, and there's our errors. Okay, module torch. So we've done this a million times. Okay, you know, the way to expertise is just practice, practice, practice. It's doing the same stuff over and over. So what we need to do is we need to create a virtual environment. Now, if you remember, we use our conda. So our mini condas. We're going to type conda. We're going to type the words create because we're creating a little environment, and we're going to give it the parameter name. So this is the name, and let's just call this one SD. Okay, that's not give it something better, but for my sake, I'm just going to put SD up there. And then we need to give it a Python. So we're going to type Python equals 3.10.11. Okay, that's a good solid one. Now it's going to go ahead and create this environment, and we're going to go proceed yes. Okay, so it's going to go ahead and create it. Now, the more environments you create, by the way, it takes up space. So if you're finding that at some point you run out of space, delete one of your old environments, and it'll free up all that, because it's installing these packages. Every time you create an environment, it reinstalls all this stuff. Okay, so now remember, when you create an environment, we got to activate it. So we're going to go activate, and we're going to activate SD. Okay, so now you can see we are in the virtual environment. If we type Python -- version, it's going to show us that our Python is installed. Okay, that's a quick way you can always make sure your Python is installed. Now, we got to install Torch. If we go back here, we're going to see that it wants us to install Torch. Let's see, whoops, there it is. And we're going to need diffusers. But if you remember, before we install Torch, we should check to make sure that our CUDA toolkit is installed. So we're going to go conda install -c, and we're going to type NVIDIA. What we're telling it is to look for the package NVIDIA. If your system ain't finding NVIDIA, go watch my other video about how to add NVIDIA to the conda package list. Okay, and then we're going to type CUDA toolkit equals, and then I'm using 11.8.0. We go like this. Okay, and it's going to say proceed. We're going to say yes. Okay, this is really important because once we get into installing Torch, if your CUDA toolkit is not installed correctly, it's going to be an issue. Okay, so next what we're going to do is let's go back to the internet, and this is the page. I tell you, tattoo this on the back of your hand because you go to this page a million times. We're going to type in PyTorch install. It's going to bring us over here. We're going to click start locally, and then just go down, follow this. We'll pip 11.8, and then we're going to highlight this. Now, we don't really need the audio nor the vision. So what we can do to save time is we can rock back to our, oh goodness, my love these messenger stuff. Okay, so we can rock back to our command prompt, okay, and let's Control V in here. We want to install this, but you know what? We'll save some time. Let's just get rid of Torch audio because we ain't going to do nothing with sound. We ain't going to be doing nothing with video. All we needed was that Torch, okay? So we're going to go ahead and just hit boom, okay? That's going to download that, okay? Now, I'm going to go ahead and cancel this out because you don't want to wait for this, and I've got this installed in another environment. But let's assume now you have downloaded this. You waited. It takes a few minutes, okay? Then we're going to go back, and we have to install the next one. So this one's easy. We're just going to go pip install diffusers, okay? So it goes through that, going to download. Okay. All right, so I'm going to cancel this out too because you don't want to wait on this. Now, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to environment that's already set up. So I type deactivate, okay? Now, you're not doing this. You're staying in your environment. I'm just doing this for the sake of your time, okay? And I'm going to have another environment I have here. Now, we've installed the CUDA toolkit. We installed the Torch, okay? We installed diffusers, okay? We're in our directory here, okay? If we go look at our code, we have over here a photo of an astronaut riding a horse on Mars. It's going to save it as astronaut rides horse. Okay, I'm going to show you a quick trick when we're done here, but now let's go ahead and run it. We're going to type Python, okay, and then we're going to call the name of the file, Python sd.py. Okay. Oh, shoot, I've got to click you back here. Okay, so we go back in there. Now notice it's downloading the models. It's going to take a little bit of time because downloading it, that's the safe tensor stuff, okay? That's one of the ways you can tell we're working with the model. Once this downloads, it only needs to download the ones, okay? Once downloaded, we'll be able to just generate stuff faster. Plus, if you remember from our other video, we can put a loop into this thing so that it doesn't have to keep reloading the model into memory each time. That's where ChatGPT comes a friend, and I'm going to show you something here while this is loading. Here, let's click back over here. You'll notice here it's going to save as astronaut.rideshorse. But let's say I want to take a photo of a frog, you know, jumping over the aurora borealis. Okay? Well, it's going to save it as image.save here. So instead what we're going to do is we can just copy this, okay? Let's rock back over to our internet. What we want to do is make it more of a dynamic sort of a thing. Really quickly, we'll run over here to ChatGPT, okay? And we'll just say, change this code so that the file name uses the variable prompt. Okay, and then we'll just paste this in, and it's going to go ahead and give us a thing here. So here we go. The prompt is already up there, and now it says we're going to use this code. So let's just copy this bottom one. Okay, let's rock on back over to our code over here, and let's just change that out. Okay, so now what this is doing is we have a variable here called prompt, photo of a frog jumping over the aurora borealis. Okay, then we're going to put it in here. It's going to use this F here to format it properly for us, and then this what is that called? That thing there with the word in there is telling us that this is a variable to use. Okay, so it's going to actually be called a frog jumping over the aurora borealis.png. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and save that. Okay. Now let's go back over here, and our model should have been loaded by now. Okay, in fact it is. It's done. So this is the one about the cow jumping over the moon thing. So what we're going to do is let's go on over to our, oh, there it is. There's our picture there. Astronaut riding a horse. Now I'm going to put it up here on the internet thing so you can see it a little bit better. Let's pop this up into here. Oh, good Lord. I put that into the ChatGPT thing, and it took it as a upload. Okay, so there you go. All right. So it created a weird picture of an astronaut on a horse. Okay. Now let's run it again. We changed up the code here to be a photo of a frog jumping over the aurora borealis, and it's going to keep the prompt name. So let's go back over to our terminal real quick. And we're going to do the same thing, Python sd.py. So now it shouldn't take that long because we've already downloaded our models. Okay, it's just got to load the pipeline. There you go. It's going to generate the thing, and there you go. It's done. Now, if we go over to our folder here, we're going to see that it named it a photo of a frog jumping over the aurora borealis. And if we throw it up into the browser here, we'll see there's our picture. Okay, so very easy stuff to do. Remember, you can always take this code here and put a loop on it. Throw it over to ChatGPT and say create a loop for this, and you know, let's just do it real quick. We'll just Control C this, and let's run back over to the internet, and let's just ask ChatGPT. We'll say, let's get rid of that photo. Okay, we'll say, please make this a loop for numerous use. Okay, and then we'll just put that in there. Okay, I didn't handle that right. We need to tell it something like, say, I mean, create a loop so after image generation, I can just add another prompt without reload. In fact, maybe what we'll do is let's pop over here and just make it easier for GPT. We'll just copy the whole code. And then we'll paste it back into here. And here you go. It's going to create our loop for us. No, it's not doing it. It's making a liar out of me. Let's just say no, not a loop of pre-trained images, an execution loop. Boy, I kind of wish I hadn't done this. Okay, see, sometimes GPT can be a dork. Okay, there we go. Now we finally got the right code. So if we copy this in here, run back over to our code, we'll just Control V that, Control A, highlights it all, Control V, then we'll press Control S. Now, run back to our terminal, and we will Python sd.py that. It's going to load it up. Now, the thing about this is it just makes so you don't have to load it multiple times. And I'm going to say, a dog eating a waffle cone. Okay? And it's going to generate it. If we go over to the internet here, and we grab our file and drop it in. Oh, come on. Hold on. There we go. And we grab that, drop it in. There we go. There's a dog eating a waffle cone. And now if we go back to our terminal window again, you're going to see that we can do another one. A cat eating a mouse on bread. I don't know. Okay, same thing. It's going to generate it quickly. So and we pop that into our browser over there, and there's a cat eating a mouse on bread, evidently. So go ahead and play around with all of that. We've got you going. That's the real basic. Okay, I'm going to do another video here later today about how to use Stable Diffusion 3, which is higher quality, and you can do some more crazy stuff with it. But guys, this is getting you going. Create a system where you're talking with a chatbot and it generates an image. This was such easy code, and it was way easier than this. This only got a little bit more complicated because we asked it to put a loop in there. Guys, this is getting you going. We got you going. Go to the website, download the stuff, create your Conda environment, and follow the process to make sure that your torch is working right. And listen, when we get into more complicated stuff, that is going to save your bacon every day. Okay, have a great day. We'll chat you up later, and if you got any questions, let me know. Oh, one more thing. Hit the like button. It's going to really help. So appreciate y'all, and catch you later.